Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Beta and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, well, surprise and happy Saturday. When I was thinking about when I was going to post my budget with me and I was doing the calendaring and the mathing, I was like, oh, August is coming up sooner than I thought. I'm going to have to get this video up. So that's why you are staring at a Saturday video, which is extraordinary from me. So hope you enjoy the bonus content. I certainly enjoy doing these budget with me's. I think they're a really great way of showcasing how a zero-based budget can work for, a single person, a couple, or a family. And so that's what mine is. This is going to be our monthly budget for the month of August. And in case you're new and you don't know, we are a family of 4. And so I will be showing you how we take care of, kind of financing our day-to-day expenses, our short-term distant expenses, our future, what is the word I'm looking for? Englishing is hard. Our near future expenses, while we're also aggressively paying down debt. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys zoomed in here and we will get into the budgeting. Okay, so as I've mentioned about a spadrillion times before on my channel, I am a paper slanter. I do not know how people can write straight up and down. And so that's why you are staring at an off-kilter budget sheet right now. Just really quickly to get this out of the way, this monthly budget overview is available in my Etsy shop, which is linked below always. It's part of a funding plan bundle that includes 3 sheets. It's a monthly budget overview, and then it's a paycheck plan. And then I also have a monthly funding plan where you can kind of break down on a weekly basis. If you do a monthly budget overview like this, you can break down on a weekly basis how you're going to fund your different categories in your budget as your pay comes in. So it's also part of my larger budget planner product as well. But if you were looking for something that just kind of touched on all of those things, I do have this in a smaller funding plan bundle. You know what? I'll just link that below as well as like underneath of my shop link. I'll link this product, the bundle of 3 specifically. So first up, any good budget starts with how much money are you bringing in? So my husband and I are a combination of things. He is a salaried employee and I am a hourly wage earner. And so this is how we work it out. His is just one line item. We know what he's going to bring in every single month. It's the same. It never changes. And it is $7,686.90. He is paid biweekly. This is the combination of the 2 checks that he's going to bring in for the whole month. I, on the other hand, am an hourly wage earner, but my schedule is somewhat set in stone, and so it's really easy to predict what I'm going to be bringing in. I have a better idea of what my first pay is going to look like down to the cent. There is some room for like margin of error, but for the most part, because we are so close to my first pay of August, I pretty much know what I'm going to be making. So it's going to be $817.20. And my second pay, I am paid twice a month. I am always paid on the 15th and the 20th. So I never have like a magic month. For those of you who don't know, a magic month is a month where whether you're a weekly or a biweekly on a weekly or biweekly pay schedule. Every now and then you'll have a month throughout the year. I think there are 2 of them for most people where you get an extra pay that month. And so I don't have that, but I do have fluctuation within my checks. Some checks I'll have more shifts than others just by the nature of the fact that I'm paid twice monthly. So my second check is projected to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $630. And so we will go ahead and add all of this up and make sure that we know what we're working with for the month. Okay, so we are looking at a total of $9,134.10. And just for full disclosure, in the event that my check is either over or under, if it's over, that's always a fun little bonus. And we kind of determine when the check hits, okay, where do we want to put some extra money? Or in the event of, actually last month, I had overage on my first one, but I think there was something that told me to hold on to that money. And I'm very glad that I did, because I ended up getting the stomach bug in the second half of the month, and it impacted how many shifts I worked. And so we were able to put the overage from this check to kind of cover the deficit we had in this check. So sometimes we'll, do that. We'll just kind of put a hold on it if there's overage in the first one, and then kind of decide what to do by the time the second one hits. If the second one is spot on, or if it's over two, then we'll kind of play around in our budget, figure out maybe where we feel like we're deficient in areas, or we'll just throw it at our debt, which is always a good idea too. So now that we know what we're working with, we just go in first with bills and expenses. They are the high priority items in your budget. And so they are the ones that you essentially throw your money at first. And so first up is our mortgage. It is $2,475.88. Our water bill fluctuates monthly, and so we figured out kind of the average for the year is about $130 a month. This covers, even on lean months where we're not using as much water, like when we're not running our sprinklers, like in the summertime, that's where our water bill is really heavy. And then if it's not, we just go ahead and let that money roll over from month to month to cover months where we are using more water than usual. So life insurance, however, never changes. It's $42.06. That too was really ugly. Our car insurance fluctuates slightly from month to month. So we're looking at $107.40 for the month of August. Jitsu here, my husband and son train jiu-jitsu, and the monthly cost of their membership is $187.38. And I will just say, because I mentioned that we are in debt, if you haven't seen my debt confession, I'll go ahead and link that now. We have gotten a lot of commentary on especially on the budget with me, because I just display for you our entire family budget. This is not, I'm not holding anything back. There are no secrets here. This is exactly what our family budget looks like on a month-to-month basis. And I get so many comments on the budget with me, like, why are you paying for this if you've got this much debt? Why are you paying for that if you have this much debt? And I'm just going to address that really quickly before we get into the rest of it. We are following the Dave Ramsey baby steps, sort of. So what we're doing is, because my husband's job is pretty much solid, we are not concerned about job stability. And even mine is really pretty solid right now. We are confident that we can still aggressively pay down our debt while we're kind of funding our life, because what we want to do is make sure that we have a working budget in place for once our debt is paid down. So we started the year with nearly $60,000 of debt. I know that sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But we have managed to pay off our smallest balance credit card. We dropped our highest balance credit card down under, we've dropped it like $6,000. And now we are also aggressively paying our car off. So we are very confident with the progress that we're making with our debt. And what we decided was, because we knew we could aggressively pay down our debt while still kind of funding things in our life that we enjoy doing, that matter to us, and are things that are not going to change moving forward, we are working within those confines. So we are aggressively paying down our debt, but we're still funding our life as well. I understand that that is not the Dave Ramsey method. He wants you to go bare bones and just pay everything off and then work with a budget. That is not how we're choosing to do it. We think he is full of great advice and great wisdom. I'm not negating his method. I'm just saying that for us, this is what works. If your circumstances are different, you have to do what you have to do. And, you know, I don't fault anybody for not doing it my way and choosing to do it the Dave Ramsey way, because I think his method is fantastic. And I actually think a lot of Americans would benefit by doing it his way, exactly to a T. We feel more confident in our own circumstances, that we feel like we can play with it in this way. And so that's why we are still funding jujitsu and other things that you're going to see in our sinking funds moving forward. So that's my little disclaimer. I'm not like defensive about it. It just is what it is. Everybody else who makes these comments seems to be much more angry about it than I am, but I don't really spend a lot of my life worrying about what other people think about me. I would never get anything done, and I would never feel good about anything I did if I allowed that to happen. So anyway, stepping off the soapbox and moving on. Our internet bill never changes. It's $55.58. And our phone bill is about the same. So it's $110.68. And I always laugh about this every time. There are so many eights in the change in our budget. Our electric bill is another one that fluctuates. So we put $200 at it a month, and we allow that rollover to build up for months where we are using more electricity than others. Groceries is up next. This is another hot topic on my channel here. We earmark $300 would be nice. Sorry, was just interrupted there. We earmark $1,300 a month for groceries. I do most of my shopping from Trader Joe's, as I've mentioned about 1 million times, but just in case you're new, we do not eat out. I make every meal from home, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm a nerd about eating clean. We pretty much just eat meat, veg, and fruit, with some little snacks sprinkled in here and there. And so this is what our grocery bill looks like. We're okay with it, so we're asking you to be okay with it too. The Target line item in our budget gets $400 a month, and this covers groceries from Target specifically. The reason why we do it this way is because groceries is cash pooled. Target stays in our checking account because we have the Target Red Card, where you get 5% off of every purchase. It's a debit card, not the credit card. They do offer a credit card, but we don't use credit cards anymore. And so this money stays in our checking account since that money is always debited. Gas gets $150 a month from us. This is also something that we don't cash pool because I use the Upside Cashback app for gas purchases. This one's a cool one. You get money, you get cash back depending on what gas stations you use. There are different options within the app. But also, every time you refer somebody, you get a little bit of a kickback from their gasoline purchases as well. If you are interested, my referral code is linked for this and all of the other cashback apps that I use down below in the description bar. Okay, today is going to be an interrupting day, I swear. Anyway, all of the referrals, I think I was saying that if you use my referral code, you'll get 15 cents off per gallon your first purchase of gas. But like I mentioned, anybody you refer as well, you get a little, like kickback or whatever. But also every single time they purchase gas, I think you get like a little bit too. So anyways, moving on. Household items get $70 this month, and toiletries gets $60 a month. We build up a buffer for these kinds of things, for in the event that there's like a sale going on for products that we use or whatever, just so that we have some money to like buy in bulk rather than buying piecemeal here and there. You know what I mean? Subscriptions is just a combination of different things that we're subscribed to, and it gets $52.75 a month. It's like Apple Music and Netflix, like stuff like that. Our pest control gets $40 every single month. This is a quarterly service that we have, and we just treat it like a sinking fund. So we put $40 a month for then, so that we have the money available there when the quarterly bill is due. Prime gets $12 a month. Okay, I was just interrupted and I thought that I hit record and I didn't. And I think I was up at gas, but we've only finished bills and expenses. So we had household is getting 70, toiletries is getting 60. Our subscriptions like Apple Music, Netflix are getting $52.75. Pest control is a quarterly service that we have. It's getting $40. We treat it like a sinking fund. And so that way when the quarterly bill comes due, we just have the money in there and waiting for it. Amazon Prime gets $12 a month. Taxes gets $30. It's what funds the CPA who prepares our taxes for us annually. Our HOA, union dues, and finance coach are all kind of being double funded right now because they haven't been getting funded enough monthly to make sure that the money is there when the bill comes due. And so these will all change a little bit once the bill does come due. But right now, this is just what we're throwing. We'll probably, I think the HOA will be half of this. Union dues, I think, is going to be a third of this. And then finance coach will be half of this once these bills come due. And then we're on a monthly funding schedule for it. But we are relatively new to cash stuffing this year. And so we've had to finagle things on our budget to make sure that we're funding them enough so that when the bill does come due, we are prepared for it. So what I'm going to do now is add all of this up so that we know what the total of this section is, and then we'll be able to subtract it from the money that we are bringing in this month. So I always zoom you guys through this so that you're not sitting here and watching me add all of these numbers together. That would just be ridiculously long. So here we go. Alrighty, so the total of this section is $5,483.73. And this section here, give or take a few categories, is the kind of inspo behind what we're going to set our goal for when we are saving 3 and 6 months worth of expenses after we pay our debt down. So part of the baby steps is, I think part of the baby steps, at least it's part of our baby steps, is after we pay off our debt, we're saving 3 to 6 months of expenses and an emergency fund. I'm pretty sure that is one of the Dave Ramsey baby steps. So minus a few categories, this section here is going to motivate what we are saving for 3 to 6 months of expenses. So, we're just going to multiply this by 3 and then 6 to come up with the figure for what we need to save. In the event of a catastrophic emergency where my husband and I both lose our jobs and we cannot support our family. So anyways, that got dark really quick. Sorry. Next up, we're just going to move over to the sinking funds. And I recognize that's probably a little bit backwards. But what we do is we figure out what we're funding in all of our sinking funds. And then whatever is left over goes up to our debt. So that's how we do it, because like I've mentioned before in this video and before, we are treating our budget, even though we're paying down our debt and it will change once we pay our debt off, we are treating our budget as a guideline for how we're going to do this in the future once our debt is gone as well. So that being said, first up is car maintenance. And this is car maintenance and tags. So we just lump our registration in with this as well. And so because of that, it gets an odd $57 every single month. Home maintenance gets $50 a month, and so does medical. Clothes this month is getting $100. We don't usually put this much money at it every single month, but we are kind of bulking it up right now because the school year is approaching, and also my husband needs to kind of not update his wardrobe, but kind of just refresh his wardrobe with some newer items. And so we're just kind of throwing a little bit of extra money at it here and there in order to make sure that that happens. So that's why that is. Haircuts gets $80 a month. This covers my husband's haircut and it also, it will cover my son's haircut. He's growing his hair out long again, so those will be fewer and further between. And also my daughter will get a trim like every 12-ish weeks or so. And so this kind of saves up for that as well. His is my husband's spending money. It gets $50 a month. Hers is my spending money, etc. I will explain that. It gets $175 a month. So included in this is my haircut cost, and then I also get a lash lift every single month. Or I'm sorry, not every single month, every 6 weeks. And just by virtue of the fact that I'm a girl, I get more money a month for things like that. So my husband doesn't seem to have a problem with it. So here we find ourselves. Dine Out gets $60 a month. This is really just money that we put aside so that our kids can have like a Chick-fil-A treat every now and then. Otherwise, we don't really eat out. Miscellaneous is just going to be getting $5 this month. We're noticing that we're not really dipping into this as much, and so we don't need to put that much money toward it every month. Work food is going to be getting $40 this month. That's just because we've kind of been depleting it a little bit more than usual, and I want to make sure that we kind of add a little bit extra in there this time, just in case. So that's why that is the way it is. And then dates is getting $15 a month, and this is pretty typical for our budget as well. We just kind of earmark $15 a month, and we might change that moving forward once our debt dwindles a little bit more. Ooh, child, I was interrupted again. Okay. I would think I was saying something, lovely about dates, but I don't remember what that was. Family fun is going to be getting $40 this month. We are reducing what we put toward this because my kids go back to school this month, and the amount of just like activities that we're doing is going to really, really go down. So this will probably continue to drop just a little bit, but for now we're just kind of like finishing out the summer month by putting this, and then we'll see kind of what we want to do with it moving forward. House project is going to be getting $150 this month. Yeah, there's really nothing to add about that. If you're new to my channel, we're kind of working on a list of house projects that we want to tackle before our debt is paid off. So we purchased ceiling fans earlier this summer, and now we are saving for gutters for our house. So you can see this isn't just like a frivolous house project like built-in bookshelves or something, although those are lovely. I do love built-in bookshelves, but that's not what we're doing, things that are like important to the house. So we are currently saving for gutters. Vacation is getting $30 this month, and that's just because I felt like we're going on vacation in August and we've already saved all the money that we wanted to save for that. But I felt like moving forward, this envelope should get a little bit of money every month until we kind of figure out what we're doing next year. And then, once we have a more solid plan in place, we'll kind of know how we're going to fund it. But I feel like in the meantime, to just have a little bit of money going toward vacation every month is just kind of a good idea. So that's why we did that. And then gifts never changes. It gets $40 every month, and Partay, which funds mostly birthday parties that we host, like our kids' birthday parties. But then every now and then, like if we have company or whatever, it kind of helps cover the cost of like food or wine or whatever would fall into that category. Back to school is getting $60 this month, and that is also reduced from what we've been giving it, but it's because we have been funding it so well that I'm comfortable with where it's sitting right now, and I felt like $60 was a more appropriate number to kind of put at it this time. So that's why we did that. Valentine's never changes. It always gets $5 a month, and Easter gets $7 a month. And then Thanksgiving is going to be getting $20 this month. And this is just Valentine's and Easter. The way that I fund it, I know works because we have had a Valentine's Day and an Easter since we started cash stuffing. And so I know that this is enough money to be putting toward it every single month to make sure that we can give our kids like a fun little Valentine's Day and Easter. Thanksgiving is more like a wild card because we haven't had a Thanksgiving yet since we've started cash stuffing. And so once I get to Thanksgiving, I will find out if I funded it enough, and then we'll be able to kind of finagle it if I haven't. So we shall see. Christmas is getting $200 this month, and there's really nothing to say about that. It's getting $200 this month. And then the zoo is going to be getting $16. This just makes sure that by the end of February, or by February, we have enough money in there to fund our zoo membership, which is like around $190. So, and then the pool is more expensive. It gets $32 every single month. And that's because the pool membership for the summer is like price gouging. It's absolutely ridiculous, but my kids love the pool and we live there. So it's worth it, I suppose. And then in the last category is home. This is like home decor, and it's actually getting $30 this month, which is not typical if you've been watching my channel for some time. I don't put this much money at it. Some months it gets skipped altogether, but the fall is coming and I am a fall and winter candle burner big time. I love all of the fall scents, predominantly like anything apple, pumpkin, or cinnamon. Those are like, oh my gosh, my jam. And so I'm giving myself the wiggle room in the budget this month to facilitate my candle buying habits. So, I'm enabling myself, essentially, is what's happening here. So let's go ahead and add all of this up so that we can see what we need to, or what we will have left in order to put at our debt. So I will zoom you guys through this one as well. All right. So the total of this section is $1,347. So let's just go ahead and subtract everything from our income. So we've got $9,134.10 minus $5,483.73 minus $1,347, and that leaves us with, $2,303.37, which is in the neighborhood of how we like to budget. So currently our Visa is not the one that we're aggressively paying off, but we are still paying more than the minimum payment so that we can be bringing the budget down a little bit every month while we throw all of our extra money at our car. So the Visa gets $300 a month regardless. And this is well over, especially because now we've gotten it. If you saw our Q2 debt update, we've gotten the Visa below a $20,000 balance. And so this makes up for the monthly payment and the interest, and then still brings the balance down a little bit every month as well. So that when we finish paying off the car, we've at least been chipping away at the budget, or I'm sorry, not the budget, at the balance a little bit on this one when we get back around to paying this one. And so that leaves $2,003.37 that we will be throwing to our car this month in order to pay this bad boy off very, very quickly. So that is a zero-based budget. This is how we make our dollars work for us. We take our income, we fund things that are immediate needs, and then we throw extra money, or we throw money at things that we know are going to be coming up in the near and not so near, but still near future, while we take care of this debt that we have looming over us. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope that you maybe learned a little bit of something. If you're new to the zero-based budgeting or Dave Ramsey finance world, or just cash stuffing in general, I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, again, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would so love it if you joined us here. I post videos twice a week, and well, except for now, right now, end of month is always like crazy in the budgeting community. There's a lot of stuff going on. You've got bill condensings and budget with me's and all kinds of stuff, but it's fun. I always like the end of month in the budgeting community. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And then I will see you guys on Monday for my cash stuffing. Bye, everyone.